This is the ZF-6, a Tier 7 premium destroyer. It's the final reward for the Shock and Awe campaign that I just completed, and I'm kind of excited about the ship. It seems like a good destroyer, so let's take a look at how I have the commander and the ship set up. The commander is Von Spee. His base trait is Misty Morning, reduces the smoke generator consumable reload time. As for inspirations, I have Eric Bay for Shifty, increases the concealment of your destroyer, and the second inspiration is Swirsky, Hide and Seek, increases the ship concealment rating. So this is a double concealment setup here. As for the skills, the first skill is Subsurface Venture, reduces the torpedo launcher reload time and increases the torpedo travel speed, but it increases your destroyer's main battery reload time. The second skill is Look at Me Now. It increases the ship concealment rating again, and it's another 6%. The third skill is Back in Stock. It reduces the torpedo launcher reload time. The fourth skill is Smoke on the Water. It increases the smoke screen deployment time as well as its dispersion time. As for the legendary skill, I have him ranked up to 15.3. 3 is the legendary rank, and I've selected Unstoppable, reduces the engine repair time, and you gain a reduced mobility with a disabled engine and or rudder. So this is important, otherwise you would be completely dead in the water. The range to the enemy ship to activate the special effect is 6 kilometers. When you go up to legendary 4, this radius increases up to 7.5 kilometers. So let's take a look at the upgrades for the ZF-6. First upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is decreased by 7%. Torpedo launcher traverse speed is increased by 20%. Second battery range goes out 5% more, and the dispersion of the secondary battery is improved by 5%. The second upgrade is Propulsion Mod 2. Time taken to reach full power when accelerating is cut in half, minus 50%. The third upgrade is Concealment System Mod 1. Reduces the detectability range by 10%, and it scatters the incoming fire dispersion by another 5%. As for the fourth upgrade, I've selected Torpedo Launchers Mod 3. Torpedo launcher reload time is decreased by 15%, and the risk of a torpedo launcher becoming incapacitated goes up 50%. So far, whenever I've used this on other destroyers, this hasn't been a problem. As for the loadout, you can see we have the normal high explosive shells, armor piercing shells, and the torpedoes. As for the consumables, you have the normal damage control party, the smoke generator, or you could select the defensive AA fire if you want. Generally, I stick with the smoke generator. You have the normal engine boost here. There are 2 charges. It increases the maximum speed of the ship by 8%. The duration is 120 seconds with a reload time of 180 seconds. And here's a special thing on this ship. The main battery reload booster. It temporarily accelerates the reload speed of the main battery guns, and it basically cuts the reload time in half. You only have one shot at this per match, so use it wisely. And you can see I currently have the basic common boosters set up all across the board. As far as the camouflage, I have the premium permanent camouflage. It came with the ship. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion are both 4.5% respectively. Let's look at the stats. Survivability is 17,000 hit points. Armor is pretty thin at 7 to 20 millimeters. Artillery firing range is 10.8 kilometers with a pretty quick reload time of 4.4 seconds. HE shell damage is 1450 with a 6% chance of setting fire. That can kind of compound decently when you have a 4.5 second reload time. AP shell damage is 2950, so that's close to 3000. You might be able to get a Citadel hit on a cruiser. We're going to have to try that out and see. As for the torpedoes, reload time is 58.5 seconds. You have 2 quadruple launchers. Maximum damage is pretty darn good at 18,400. Torpedo range is 8 kilometers, and that's sort of respectable. Torpedo speed at 79 knots is awesome. Here are your AA defensive numbers. This kind of seems like a lot of guns to me, so that's pretty good. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 36 knots, which is decent. Turning circle radius is 670 meters. Rudder shift time is 3.9 seconds. That's okay, but I think some of the particular people about this really want to get below 2 seconds, but for now we have 3.9 seconds. Concealment is awesome. At 100, you see down here, and it's 5 kilometers, so that is definitely your double concealment setup in action there with the commander. Let's take a look at the armor. Suffice it to say, it's pretty thin and you really should not get hit. Let's look at the overview. Rapid reload. Torpedoes reload more quickly than average. Barrage can be equipped with the main battery reload booster, and I think we definitely saw that it was. Powerful AA defensive, above average AA gun firepower. We did see a lot of AA guns in the stats. ZF-6 is one of the unfinished French Le Hardy class destroyers captured by Germany in 1940. The project for the ship's completion planned for her armament to be completely replaced with German equipment. Year of design is 1941. Doesn't look like there were any ships in the series, so it's awesome that the ship is in the game. Well, that's it for the setup of the commander and the ship. Let's go out in a standard battle and let's see if we can get some highlights. Alright, we're in standard, we're in crash zone, and this is one of my very first games in the ZF-6. And in the game, you're going to see that ultimately I'm going to help capture all 3 flags, though that fancy reload booster that we talked about did not really get used at all in the match. So I'm not really sure when would be a good time to use the reload booster with a destroyer. So if you have any ideas about that, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I have played destroyers quite a bit in the game. I started out in the German destroyer line, so I went all the way up to tier 7 with the Z-23, so I'm pretty familiar with the German destroyers and more or less destroyers in general, but I mostly like to use them as torpedo boats, not really gunboats. So with the high speed of these torpedoes and the basic 1 minute reload time and the high power output, damage output, I kind of expect big things from this destroyer as I continue to play it. But right here, right now, we are going to go and ultimately start capturing A. And I'm sort of looking around. I don't really see anybody else. No, none of the red team. I'm looking for my other teammates over there. So I'm going to come over into A and start capturing it. I am checking out these ships to see if I have any options for a good intercept point. Nothing thrilling yet. There's a Geese now, and I am going to close in on that guy and take a couple shots at him with my torpedoes. Got 5 kilometer concealment. That is awesome. I'm not really sure you can get a better concealment with a tier 7 destroyer. Maybe one of the Japanese destroyers, but you know, you can leave a comment about that as well. So here this Geese now is in range, and I am definitely going to take a shot at him with these 79-kilometer high-power torpedoes. So there goes the first rack. And I'm going to wait a little bit there. You know, we do capture the flag, so that is awesome. And now I'm being hit with a radar, and I don't even really see who that the radar is coming from. I'm not really sure where it's coming from. It could be the Geese now and his sonar, not a radar. I have seen the radar detected there many times in the past, and there you see we get 3 solid hits, 13,000 damage apiece, up to 42,000 and damage inflicted, and that Geese now is definitely gone. That guy is not there. He's been destroyed already, and I'm going to come back around, and now I'm going to start going over to B. And like I said, you know, one of the first things that you want to think about when you're in a destroyer is, you know, spotting the enemy is important, and capturing bases. That's the thing that, you know, your teammates really rely on. I haven't been all that great at doing that. A lot of times I really enjoy going hunting for the battleships, and just to see how much torpedo damage I could get. And that, I suppose, is ultimately my main goal anyway. But in this game, we do definitely capture the bases. So I am closing in on this Bismarck, and I think when we come around the corner here, you're going to see that he's just sitting there. So not really sure what he's waiting for, but he's going to get lit up here in a little bit. You see he's got half his health left, so something happened to him already. And you can see he's broadside to somebody, and they're like, what, a quarter of his health just got taken away? So we are going to take a quick shot at this guy right as we're going in to start capturing B. You can see my teammate is already in B. It says it's contested, so I think the Bismarck is in B. He's probably sitting there, probably just trying to take the base. So there I took 2 shots at him. I staggered my aim in case he decided to slow down. That's what that second shot was for. Aimed way behind him. We'll see which shot ends up getting him. Looks like the first rack is definitely going to get him, and there he's gone. Another torpedo hit, so we're up to 4 torpedo hits, 51,000 damage, and a destroyed ship. So now we are going to go and capture B. So it looks like we're well on our way to winning the match, which is awesome. It's pretty nice to win a match, especially when it's one of the first matches I'm playing with this new ship. Not really sure what I'm doing yet. You can see I haven't even come close to thinking about using that main gun reloader. And here's another radar detection. I think it's ultimately a destroyer behind the island, right close to the island, and sort of the same direction as that Georgia was over there. But he's probably sitting there capturing B, or trying to capture B. So he left the area. He's not in B anymore, and we're starting to capture. So I am going to start going forward a little bit. There's the Z-35. He's outside of B. But now it looks like he was starting to head into this gap over here. So I'm going to take a blind shot right here. I'm going to wait a little bit. And so there, I took a blind shot right in the gap. You never know. That's like, you know, fishing expeditions, what I like to call it. You never know if you're gonna get something. Certainly don't see anything, and we're just gonna wait this out. I did capture the base. I've got another captured base, and there you can see that I did get a hit, and I think it was the destroyer that was hiding behind B here, and there he is. He showed up at what was that, 4.5 kilometers away, so I can only assume that he is also doing, or she, or the commander there is also doing a double concealment, but the commanders are ranked up to the maximum to get down to 4.6. So ultimately, Z-35 is destroyed, but it did release some torpedoes that you see coming right here. And I've got to do some fancy driving with the ZF-6. You can see right there, I barely missed getting the rear end taken out as well as the bow right there. So that is some really good ship driving right there. Wow. I guess one of our ships just got taken out. That's why C is no longer being captured by the blue team. And so here you see that there's a blue battleship really close to the Georgia, and I'm not really sure what happens there, but I'm fairly certain that my teammate rammed the Georgia. And looks like they took each other out, so okay. We just have the destroyer to contend with, and now it's full speed ahead over to capture C. You can see with the concealment at 5, I didn't have to use the smoke at all in this match. So didn't use the smoke, didn't use the reload booster, but they're there if you need them. And it looks like the whole blue team is going to come over here and start capturing C. Overall, I think this ship is going to have some awesome potential, especially with the super high speed torpedoes and the huge output and damage. So I'm going to be looking to do several more matches in this ship. It could end up being one of my absolute favorites. I do think statistically it is a better performer than the Z-23. Has faster torpedoes, more output. Concealment with the double concealment is probably right there, but I think that overall this might be a better ship than the Z-23. So obviously, you know, if you guys have any opinion about that, go ahead and let me know. Alright, so we completed a few milestones. Here you can see we got 346,000 credits, 66,000 damage, 10 target hits with the main guns, 5 torpedo hits, 2 destroyed ships, 3 assisted captured flags. That's pretty darn good. 5,000 XP. That was with the boosters though. So let's take a look at the team result. Well, that's not bad for the team result. 3rd place in my 2nd match or so with the ZF-6. That's pretty darn good. I'm happy with it. Let's look at the economy tab. Wow, when it was all said and done, I got 205,000 credits. And you can see how all the common boosters added up. That's it for the ZF-6. A really great battle. I think it's a pretty darn good ship, and it's going to be pretty interesting to play it and see what kind of high score and performance I can get in the future. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.